Today I am pleased to host the advisor at the Ministry of Education and an adjunct professor at the American University of Bahrain, Dr. Sheikh Saqer AlKhalifa. Dr. Sheikh Saqer AlKhalifa is a professor at the American University of Bahrain and a senior advisor at Bahrain's Ministry of Education. He holds a PhD in political science from Claremont Graduate University and an MA from the American University in Washington, D.C. He is a published scholar and an international speaker who spent over 2 decades designing reforms across education, sport governance, and youth development. He is a 30-time Ironman finisher, a graduate of the Citadel, and the founder of both the Bahrain Triathlon Federation and the Bahrain School and College Sports Association. Dr. Sheikh Saqer AlKhalifa, welcome to the show. How's it going today?
Thank you very much. Yeah, everything is well. Thank you for having me over here. I'm very excited.
It's an absolute pleasure, and I have to say, as a fellow academic myself, I am very excited to delve into that world and kind of talk to you about the world of academia.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I've seen this show, and I'm a big fan, to be honest. And when I got the call to be here, I was like, actually, I was going to make the call myself because I love this. I love this show. I'm looking forward. Yeah, let's have a good talk.
That's an honor. Without further ado, we're going to go straight to the who section of this segment.
Okay.
And the first question is, who inspired your career path?
That's a good question, to be honest. I was thinking about it when you ask different guests on who is my inspiration. I think the circumstances that in life is my inspiration.
Right.
When I mentor people, when I talk to students, when I talk to young individuals about having an inspiration, I tell them that they don't need to have a person. They can have the circumstances that surrounds them.
Right.
A collection of people, a collection of events that happen to sort of direct them to be someone in there, to be someone to go behind that career. And I think that's what happened to me, because there are so many people that actually inspired me.
Yeah.
But mostly it's about how can I be a person that can give this world as much as I can.
Right. It's almost sort of like a kind of a beautiful, let's say, montage or collaboration of the environment and the circumstances we're in that are then able to kind of shape us and mold us, and we can draw inspiration from various elements, not necessarily a singular thing or person.
Yeah.
It could be a combination.
And in some situations, you just have to trust that you're going towards an objective,
Right.
Even if you don't have clarity. And I think that's a very good inspiration, is that you trust that you don't need to have clarity today. Clarity can come tomorrow. Just don't stop.
Why do you think that is, that people seem to kind of get stuck at that point where they feel the need for clarity and they're not necessarily able to progress because maybe they want that crucial information and it seems quite important to them? How do you overcome that?
Well, the thing is, when we look at the problem that I face most of the time is that the books and the movies and the TV series and the Netflix and so on, and in a way the theme is always about find your dreams and follow your dreams. Find your dreams and look at whatever you want. I kind of object to that, because I found that only a minority of people are able to actually reach where they want to reach.
Yeah.
And then what do we do with the majority? They get upset. They feel that they're lost in life. They feel that they can't do anything. They feel that they haven't accomplished anything. And I think this is something that I started to look at and object a lot, whereby the knowledge and the information we're being fed is from a very narrow perspective, and we shouldn't just be locked in that perspective. It's just that when we just have faith into and trust into a situation that is not clear today, that it will be clear tomorrow, then we don't need to stop and wait.
Yeah.
We can just continue, even if you don't know where the end point is. Just keep on going. You're gonna see it later.
That's
right?
a beautiful way of looking at it.
Yeah. So if you're like, for example, if you're in a tunnel and the tunnel is very dark, if you just keep on going, you will see the light at the end of
At
the
some
tunnel,
point,
but you
yeah.
don't need to see it immediately to follow it. What if it's so dark? You're not going to just stop and not do anything.
Yeah.
So so this is where something that I've been thinking about a lot, to be
Right.
honest. And this is what I'm telling people is that, you know, it's not about you finding your dreams and following. It's just, you know, see how others have a dream and see how you can fulfill theirs. And
Yeah.
that might be your dream.
That's beautifully worded. Yeah, no, I definitely resonate with that. I think it plays a lot into the idea of awareness as well, and kind of being in tune with yourself and
Yeah,
knowing
yeah.
that if you keep going, that there definitely will be positive output.
Yeah, for sure.
And speaking sort of about our dreams or within that realm, who's the most surprising person you've ever been starstruck by? Maybe someone that you've met and they said something, or you had a conversation that really resonated with you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like prior to 2013, I haven't met personally, prior to 2013, I'd say, I haven't met personally His Highness Sheikh Nasser. And one of the events that I was organizing, and it was a small event, a friend of mine called me and he was working for His Highness and told me that His Highness wants to participate in an event that I'm organizing. But I've read newspapers and I've followed his accomplishments,
Yeah.
Specifically in sports, and I've always wanted to know: is it real? You know what they write in the newspapers that
Right.
you know he's winning every race and in endurance, equestrian, and so on. And the first time that we met was just like a bike training while I was setting up the event in Sofitel. I was starstruck. You know, I was just trying to pay attention what's going on and trying to analyze. And I'm like,
Right.
tomorrow's the event. Tomorrow, what am I gonna see? It's like so many things going on in my mind. But definitely, a big part of my life was sitting with His Highness from that day on and listening to a lot of, I would say, small, short sentences that are so heavy in weight and so knowledgeable. But the one that I cannot forget was how important for him is to always be number one or nothing else.
Right, the mentality
That
behind it.
yeah, you can easily say, a lot of my friends say, maybe everyone says it, me, you, everyone says it,
Mhm.
right? But how hard it is that you work towards either one or nothing is something that I was like, sometimes you're in the middle of doing something like, okay, you know what, professor, what's the passing grade?
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
want to get a
Yeah,
70 or
what's the
whatever it
passing
is.
grade?
Yeah.
But the thing is, His Highness doesn't ask what's the passing grade.
Mhm.
He asks, who is the smartest person here? What's his grade? Okay, my target is that grade plus one.
Yep. Yeah.
That's the minimum,
Mhm.
right? And then I learned a lot, to be honest. Even though in 2013 I was like 33, and His Highness I think was about in the 2025 or something. But still, I was that thing was to me was a wake up call. Why settle for number two?
Right.
No,
Yeah.
never. Don't settle for number two.
Yeah, it's an amazing mentality to have, and I think it's even harder to execute. And it's reserved to quite an elite few that are able to follow
It is.
through.
You have to control, because the thing is, sometimes when people can't get number one, then they get into psychological problems.
Right.
The depression and so on. But not him. And that's the thing, is about, okay, you try your hardest to get number one. You don't get it, you try again.
Mhm.
You don't get it, you try again.
You keep on going.
You keep on going. You don't have that the attitude where you just break yourself, and that is a big sort of like, because I was following him, and I was starstruck because of who he is, and I knew that I still know that, a lot of, this is the teachings by His Majesty,
Correct.
and these are the things that happen at the top, and I am still very blessed to learn from the best.
Yeah, and I think that's a beautiful segue to my next point. And I know it might be hard to give one singular answer because I'm sure you've given and you've probably heard a lot as well yourself. But the question is, who gave you the best advice you ever received?
Well, the thing is, I think I have to mention my father in this point. And a day before I went I started the military college in South Carolina, the Citadel, right? A day before, I was confused, and I'm like, what am I getting myself into? You've already made the decision, you're gonna get there, and the thing is, the first week they call it Hell Week.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and they take your watch, they yell at you, and I'm like, so I was very beaten up, and he saw me, my father, and he was like, listen, I know they call it Hell Week, but the thing is, this is 4 years of being in hell. But then the day you graduate, you're going to be feeling like you're in heaven for the rest of your life.
Right.
And your friends who are in Texas and Boston and Washington, D.C. and so on, they're going to be living in heaven for 4 years. But guess what? The day they go back to the real world, they're going to always look back. That's their hell for the rest of their lives.
Right.
They will always remember the university college days.
Yeah, those were the dreamy days.
I wish I can go back, right?
Yep.
So it's just 4 years and then fun for the rest of your life. You're investing. And I think, that couldn't be more true, to be honest. Every problem and issue that that I face, I mean, it's expected and we have a saying, that whoever tries to shine and tries to be someone important, you're gonna make a lot of enemies. A lot of people are going to try to bring you down.
It's a byproduct of it. Yeah.
And I've faced so many people who are trying to, talk about reputation, talk about how, hard-headed. Maybe it's true. I am. Maybe I'll give in to that. Things about people are talking. But the thing is, I've seen other people who face what I am facing, and they get into depression. They hate life. They want early retirement. They want to travel, and to me, it just tickles me.
Yeah.
Because I remember the days, and I'm like,
this is nothing compared to
the thick skin that I have is just whatever it is, I don't care.
And it wasn't built overnight as well, right?
Yeah. And it makes you what we say at the Citadel. We say in the military all the time: what doesn't kill you
makes you stronger.
Makes you stronger, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I always hear that from an outside perspective, but hearing it from someone who's actually been through that makes definitely a lot of sense.
It was. I remember the first time I heard it was. In a push-up, and like I'm being punished, and I'm trying, and I'm like really in a lot of pain.
Right.
And they're telling me if I fall down and my belt buckle, then it's gonna get scratched, and I'm gonna spend 2-3 days shining my belt buckle, and I'm in pain. And then that's when someone was like, "What doesn't kill you? Don't worry, it's not gonna kill you. It's just gonna make you stronger."
Yeah.
Then I became better in push-ups.
Yeah. There you go.
Stronger.
Right. Yeah. This is an interesting one. You wake up famous in another industry.
Yeah.
So you're not in academia. You're not in the world of fitness and in wellness. What industry is that, and what are you now?
Yeah, I mean, I've I think Roger Federer is a person that I want to be like the #1 tennis player.
Right.
And the industry is tennis. There's a reason for it. I've thought about it a lot, but hear me out.
Okay.
Okay, so hear me out.
Yeah.
So the philosophy that I like to live by is that your life should be divided into 4.
Okay.
You should have time for yourself, time for your family, time for your friends, and time for your work, right?
Those 4
so
categories.
Working, family, friends, yourself. The thing is, the more you can join them, the more successful you are, right? So, for example, if you can merge friends and work, then you're sort of doing 2 things at once. That means you have more time for yourself.
Yeah.
But if you do yourself and friends and family at the same time, then that's amazing as well. But Roger Federer, when he plays tennis, he does four things. Those four things, he joins them together, right? So he's doing sports for himself,
Which is his job, and he enjoys it.
which is his job. His family and kids are there,
right.
right? And he's playing with his friends.
Yeah, that's kind of like the best of all worlds.
So
right?
and he's making money out of being with his friends. So who doesn't want to make money while being with friends and benefiting himself, and his family are there with him, right? So that's like the philosophy of how do you, I think that's the objective that everyone should go for.
How can you maximize the merging of those elements?
The merging of those elements, but those elements are all important. You can't ignore one of them.
Right.
Right. So that's why I chose to as 10. I've tried to figure out any other person. It's like, for example, a billionaire in Wall Street or something. But I was like, no, that's too boring.
Yeah. It's interesting, though. I mean, the four categories, it kind of reminds me of, the diagram of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where self-actualization's at the bottom, and then you're kind of fulfilling those different elements. But you broke it down in a really interesting way, where if you were able to merge those elements a bit more than, let's say, the next person, you can find a lot of fulfillment and happiness, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like in the weekends, you can go out on a bike ride with your friends.
Right.
Right? So you're benefiting yourself. You're also spending time with your friends so that they won't bother you and telling you, we haven't seen you in a long time. Like, come, let's go cycling.
Yep.
Let's go cycling. You're benefiting yourself. And imagine if someone is paying you while you're cycling in Zalog or something.
That would be amazing. You're hosting a late night show.
Okay.
Who's your dream first guest and why? I
think, to be honest, I've thought about this. I've like who is going to be? I was like, should it be a comedian so that we can laugh?
They always have good answers to things.
Yeah,
right?
should we? Yeah, should we be? But I think I want to really sit down with Ronaldo.
Right.
Yeah. Not this Ronaldo.
Oh, the original Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell him, I want to ask him a question. I was like, what if they had Manjaro when, during your time?
Right. Would things be different?
Would you? Yeah, because he left because of weight, right?
Yeah.
It's like I couldn't. Like I want to ask him those questions because the thing is, like my son today, he's a big Chelsea fan and he looks at all these new guys, but he doesn't know like how Ronaldo was and Figo and Zidane and these guys and also since he's a Chelsea fan, like Crespo, for example, and Hernan Crespo was coaching somewhere here, but these guys, to me, I think it's just, I'm selfish. I just want to have a picture with them.
I totally hear you on that. But I think it's interesting because even in that, let's say, era of football, I think physique mattered a lot, and perhaps even a bit more at the time where, even the play styles were different.
Yeah.
You needed to have a high level of endurance, and fitness was a factor. So Ronaldo's an interesting one to me because despite his weight, he would still score quite a lot of goals.
They're like the best in the world. But there needs to be something that makes sure that those skills that come out of Brazil are really, protected in a way.
Right. Yeah. They need to preserve them in some capacity.
Yeah, I think, and it goes to everyone that becomes famous. Whether it's in Brazil, whether it's today the fashionistas and the and the people in social media. Like for example here in Bahrain. Omar Farouk is an example. He became famous, but he's such a humble person.
Yeah.
And we trained together for his marathon. He did a marathon in South Africa very recently, and I think people should see that you can be a very famous person and a very successful person. And every time I see Omar with his parents, I understand why he's a very good person.
Right.
Because he has very good parents. And you can see it in their face, and you can see how like that. Those things we're very blessed to have here. and I think others in the world, they can learn from us.
Yeah. Especially when you have real life examples within your vicinity. That makes it so much better.
Yes.
You're planning a bucket list for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
I want to know what's at the top of that list and what's at the bottom.
Okay, so the top of the list of the bucket, I have in the next 5 years, my son, he has a year to graduate. I'm hoping that in the next 5 years he's gonna get married, and I want to be a grandfather, inshallah. So I hope he skips. Look, he's the only person that I hope that he doesn't listen to this. So I have 3 daughters. I want them to graduate as well and go to a good university.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, a daughter of mine is one of them is applying for the Crown Prince scholarship. So I hope that she gets into one of the good universities. But as well as for myself, I think there's this 8 major marathons. Have you heard about them? So the 8 major marathons. So it's Chicago, Boston, New York, London, Berlin, Tokyo, and then there's there's Sydney and South Africa.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you complete them, you complete the 8 majors, you get like a big medal.
Okay.
So I want to do that. So, and what's in the bottom of the list?
Yeah.
Retirement.
Right.
I'd say.
No time soon.
Yeah. I hope my boss is listening to me. I don't want to retire. I think the thing is, I have so much that I want to do, but I can't work towards it because I have to put faith into just do the best that I can every single day, and I put faith into God that I will be directed to the right place.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't write my future. I try to work it towards it, but I don't write my future. And I wish if this is something that I can do, I wish that I can do much more to society as well.
Yeah. And you're given a chance to give advice to your younger self. So let's say 15 or 20 years ago. What do you say?
I think my younger self, let's take it a bit more than that.
Okay.
So I would say when I was 15 or even younger than that, I've tried a lot of things. So I was a tennis player. I was I was playing football in Harrai Club. I was doing a lot of things, to be honest. I was, maybe go-karting. The thing is, every time I get bored and then I change and then I change. I keep on changing. And I think my advice is just stick to one thing and try to be the best at it.
Master it.
Master it, and you will master it. And there are 2 variables that allow you to master one thing. The first is that you're going to get better. The second is others are going to give up, right? So the thing is, we didn't have those tools back in the days, but I really want to advise those who are younger to whatever you choose to do, don't get bored. Keep on doing it, right? Don't give up. And you will be better, and you will be the best at it, and you will be a superstar. Just don't give up. So I look at all my friends in Harrai Club, right, when I was younger. There are so many talents that did not make it to the first team, to grow up and play at the top.
Is that because of lack of consistency? Or?
They just stopped playing because they were not living close to the club. They didn't have transportation. They got bored. Other interests. They wanted to try something else.
Yeah.
But they were extremely talented, and maybe more talented than those who actually made it to the top. And those who made it to the top, they were just the ones who are consistent. And they made it to the top. They made it to the top, and they're very good. So I would say, consistency is definitely key here, and that's the advice that I'll give myself: is choose something and be consistent in it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you hear that a lot A lot of people say consistency is key, and some people may look at it like almost like a cliche answer, but it's there for a reason. Because if you do work hard and you work consistently, if you do it long enough, then the output is almost guaranteed.
Yeah. As I said, others are going to give up, so
Yeah.
just wait for them to give up,
For sure.
right? And
You keep on going.
you keep on going.
Yeah. This is a game called This or That.
Okay.
And I'm really excited about it because it kind of helps to understand a little bit more about personalities.
Yeah.
Sitcom or drama?
Sitcom or drama? I would say sitcom.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed to say, but like more Bahraini is kind of tea.
I prefer coffee as well,
Yeah,
so I get you. I catch your
yeah,
drift.
Coffee,
Cats or dogs?
dogs.
Dogs, yeah.
Yeah.
Thing is, I never really got the whole memo about cats.
Yeah, I think cats. I mean, it's. I don't get them.
Yep.
Yeah,
I don't think they get themselves.
Yeah, they just jump at you for no reason.
Sporadically,
Yeah.
just out of nowhere.
I mean, but like puppies, I'd say.
Yeah,
They're cute.
okay.
Yeah, but the bigger dog, no.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Text messages or phone calls?
Phone calls. I hate messages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate messages.
Yeah. What about a voice message? What do you think of voice messages?
Yeah.
Those are
definitely.
okay?
Yeah, voice is good, but like sitting and reading so much, and then you have to typing.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then and whoever is listening, like type a paragraph and send it. Don't send a word by word. Like when it just ding ding.
I think
I hate that.
I'll be honest. I found myself a victim of that sometimes. Yeah.
Yes.
So it makes a lot of sense. You want to write a message in one paragraph, but then
yeah.
but then for me, it's like my thoughts are isolated.
Yeah.
So sometimes I separate. them.
And the thing is, why do people not? Why don't they use commas?
Oh, punctuation is out of the picture.
Yeah,
in this
because
day and age.
I'm like, are they cursing me, or are they saying that I'm good looking? I'm like, which one is it?
Yep. A
With
comma
the
can go a long way.
Yeah, definitely.
Comedy or horror?
No, comedy for sure.
Cinema or outdoor adventure?
Outdoor adventure.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like you I don't know why I get the impression that you've been on hikes before, or that you like.
Well, I drove my car past summer from Bahrain to Italy.
MashaAllah. All right.
So I just turned on the car, and I drove. And the first stop was Turkey. I didn't sleep. Bahrain, Saudi, Kuwait, Iraq. I passed by all Iraq. When just past the entered Turkey, that's when stopped and slept.
Yeah, that definitely sounds more than a movie at a cinema. I'll tell you that
It took me 5 days to reach Europe,
Yeah.
but coming back took me 3 days.
Right.
So I was trying to get to my daughter's birthday.
Okay. Well, I mean, you've got all the motivation to do it, right?
Yeah. I spent 2 months in my sleeping in my car last summer
Wow.
in Europe.
You're saying this so candidly. I'm assuming that it's a normal thing, but this is actually magnificent.
Yeah. I mean, when I say it, I'm like, did I really do it?
Yeah.
But I did it. I took it one day at a time. So 2.5 months actually.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted time for myself to write and to finish a book, to publish it. I was training every day. I participated in 2 sport events over there. Went all around, discovered how expensive Europe is, and then came back.
Yeah. Well, that is absolutely amazing. And the last question on this segment is vintage or modern?
I think both.
Both.
Yeah. So somehow I go to thinking about cars, right?
Okay. That's a natural train of thought.
So yeah, and like sometimes I like to see that vintage car, but it is completely refurbished from the inside out from the inside to be modern.
Right.
Right.
The best of both worlds, almost.
Yeah, but then it's not totally modern. Like for example, have you seen the new Ferrari?
I have the electric one.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's disaster, right? That's too much. But you can't go vintage like something that is like an F40 or whatever, because it's nice to look at, but it's not nice to drive.
Yeah.
So I'd say both. You have to have both. I think you have to be in touch with your past. You have to be in touch with history, but you can't just always live in the past.
Right.
You need to look. So one of the more inspiring people that I look at, I read about, and I'm like, wow, what an amazing person he was Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi, right? And if you look at what he did, he's born in Tikrit in Iraq, and then he went and it was a very decisive moment, and the Islamic Empire was scattered, and the Crusaders overtook Jerusalem, and what he did over there in one lifetime. And I'm like, we need to know that, but we need to also know how do we get to that in the future and become that. Yeah, how do we think collectively? How do we bring people together? How do we bring peace? How do we become the good people to defeat all the bad people around the world? Because bad people, unfortunately, they have a lot of strength. So if we're not aware of that in the past, we won't have hope for the future.
Yeah.
And that's tying the older cars with newer cars.
Hey, I was following along the whole time.
Okay.
Definitely. Moving on to the R section. So the first question is, are there defining moments that shaped who you are today? Any that come to thought?
Yeah, there are. And I think that there's more than one. And for those who are listening, it's okay to have defining moments that completely change who they are. So one of the defining moments, I think, was when I became diabetic at the age of 28. Because, I wanted to do so much with regards to my degree with political science. I wanted to be a diplomat, or I might be someone in the military, or I might be in intelligence, and as an analyst, as an advisor, but then sports was never in the horizon.
Yeah.
Going to the gym, maybe. I did go to the gym, doing some occasional runs, but participating in events, triathlon, nothing was there. And the defining moment was when I found out that I need to start doing sports to manage my diabetes. But I can't just do it because of who I am. I can't do something without being totally in it.
Right. You need to be wholeheartedly invested in it.
Yeah, I need to be dedicated into it. So that defining moment was when I started, looking at those events, running events, being in, participating in Roadrunners. Within a couple of years, I became the president of Roadrunners, Bahrain Roadrunners.
Yeah.
And then I did a triathlon, and I fell in love with it. And then within a very short period of time, I was organizing triathlons in Bahrain. And people were like, what is a triathlon? We only had expats to participate. And we were trying to promote it. And then the sort of the career started taking two different paths. One towards a profession and the other one towards sports. And I had a lot of friends and family members that were telling me that I should put more time into career and put more time into finding a business, making money, and investing and being an entrepreneur, and because I can do that. But instead of doing all of this, I can do that because you have limited time. But I felt like there was something that's going to come behind this. I was like, no, this just gives me a lot of satisfaction.
Yeah.
Because I was not doing it for myself. I was working in society as a volunteer,
for the community.
For the community to and when you stand at the finish line and you see people pass the finish line, you hand them a medal. They're so happy, and they didn't used to take as much photos as they do now. But that gives you the satisfaction. You sleep with a smile, and I was like, what gives you a better smile? If you make your first million BD, or if you make 1 million people happy.
Right.
Yeah. And others who depend on you and your friends, everyone who wants you to be successful, they want you to. They're like, listen, sports is good, but that's more important, right? But somehow that defining moment of no, let's let me work in sports, let me do that. That became also a career as well, a double career. And had I not gone that road, I wouldn't have, um, met His Highness Sheikh Nasser,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't have worked for him, and I wouldn't have till this day, which is a big blessing, which every single person in the world wishes that they are in my position,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I didn't know that that will be the future. I didn't know that. I didn't plan for it. I didn't try to strategize for it. I just went with trying to do the best that I can for people.
Yeah, and quite literally, it's like you're enjoying the fruits of your labor after, and it had a trickle effect, and it happened naturally.
Yeah,
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 and I think
definitely.
that brings me on perfectly to my next point, and I think we talked about this a little bit already. But are there decisions you made that had a bigger impact than you expected? I'm assuming this could have been one of them when you took initiatives to do things like this.
It is one of them, but I think mostly this is this is one thing, but something that is actually a very big decision. I haven't told it to anyone, but in 12th grade, when I was in IKNS, Bin Khaldun school, we were sort of applying for universities, my friends and myself, to different universities, and I was asking them, what, in the application form, what are you gonna study?
Yeah.
And everyone that I remember was like business, finance, accounting, business. And the ones like in my group, and I looked at my application to the Citadel, and I was like, I don't want to be like everyone else,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I saw political science in a box, and I was like, I'm just gonna choose. I had no idea what political science was.
But you figured
It
you would
was
choose
it was
it. Yeah.
1998. It was the end of 97, 98, right? So we didn't have a parliament. We didn't have no. There was no the word politics was not there, and it
Mm-hmm.
was like political. So I didn't even know what political science is. I was say 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
And so I just kept it just like that, just because I want to be different for no reason. I didn't choose something that I was like so excited for. I just chose it because I didn't want to be like everyone else.
Yeah, you wanted to take a different route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I don't like it, I'm going to switch, right? So, and then when I went there, everyone was asking me, when I selected it, everyone was like, oh, you're going to be writing a lot. You're going to be reading a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, reading a lot, writing a lot, I don't like it. And they're like, and I was like, yeah, let me just take it one step at a time.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't give up. So when I went there, I was like, political science, I was clueless, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But I just decided to stick with it. And then in the master's, I had a chance to study, the master's in business administration.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, you know what, I don't want to start from zero. So let me just continue down that road.
Yeah.
And then for PhD, I just wanted to just continue. I had no idea what's going on. So it all started in school.
That's really interesting when you think about it, because it started as a thing where you kind of just wanted to pick a different option, and then it progressed into postgraduate and a PhD and in the same field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2001, I was gonna go to study my master's in Washington D.C., and my superior officer in Bahrain Defense Force, he looked at, he's like, what are you going to study? I'm like, that was his attitude with me.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to study, right? I was like, well, international relations. He's like, how are we going to benefit out of that? You're in the military. You're going to be like, doing military stuff. Like, what is this going to help you, drive a tank? I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. He's like, no, choose something else. I'm like, no, please. I don't have anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I just stuck there. I didn't move. And he was like, oh, you're still standing here? I'm like, yeah, I really need, I can't. Because when you apply, you have
It's a whole process, yeah.
So it's like, okay. And then, somehow it worked out. It just helped me so much. And I believe today that political science is the mother of all disciplines.
Mm-hmm.
Because in order for you to be a good political scientist or an advisor, you need to know everything. You can't just advise on, a certain policy, or you can't just write a book from one perspective, and someone who is into, agriculture, be like these advice doesn't work for agriculture, right?
Yeah.
So you talk about trade, for example, free trade, or building cities or whatever. If people don't understand about farming, they won't know that, well, this threatens that,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's always, how do you have a balance, and political science really help you with that.
Yeah. No, for sure. And kind of going on a tangent a little bit, but are there struggles behind your success that people rarely hear about, or maybe they're not exposed to, or something that you might be doing on a day-to-day basis, or particular moments that you felt like were a struggle that people are not aware of?
I think my struggle is similar to everyone else's. It's just that when we see each other walking in the mall, everyone thinks that the other person is not struggling from anything.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is, every single one of us is carrying something,
Mm-hmm.
right? And every single one of us, when you go to that person and tell them, make a wish, they will wish to get out of the struggle, whatever that struggle is.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I know for sure about. So, for example, my personal struggle that people don't understand is how hard diabetes is,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, for example, right now, right? So I have a couple of things with me here. So I have my insulin, which, if my sugar level went up, I can take insulin so that it brings it down.
Right.
But what if it doesn't go up? What if it goes crashing down? Well, that's the thing, that I have a Kit Kat,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So if it goes down, so every time, like for the rest of my life, I have to always carry two things.
Mm-hmm.
And usually it's an orange juice, but I didn't
Right.
find orange juice, so I just grabbed a Kit Kat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but all the time, like, I don't sleep unless there's orange juice and insulin next to me,
Mhm.
every single
It's
day.
become a necessity to
I
have.
don't travel. I don't go in a car. I don't go anywhere. Every time I want to eat, someone comes up to me like, "Here, have a drink," and I was like, "Oh, thank you, orange juice, whatever." I have to think so hard, if
Calculate it.
can I
Yeah.
get this orange juice or not? Can I drink this coffee or not? And then and then someone will be like, "Come on, drink," and I was like, should I tell them? Should I not tell them? And then
Yeah.
and then and then when you tell them, they feel sorry for you, and I'm like, I don't feel sorry for me.
Mhm.
But the thing is, someone else is struggling mentally. Someone else is struggling, with depression.
Mhm.
Another person is struggling with weight. Another person is struggling with the loss of hair, and another person is with cancer, and another with. Everyone has something.
Yeah.
Some people are struggling with wealth. They don't have money for the simplest things, and some people have a lot of money and they don't know what to do.
Mhm.
Every single person has a struggle, and we all cope with it our own way, and we need to understand that that no one is just a lucky person.
Right.
No one is a lucky. Every single one of us is lucky to know what their struggle is, at least, so they can deal with it.
To have that awareness.
The unlucky person is the one that does not know what they're struggling with.
Yeah.
Right. These are the people you should stay away from, because they're crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they definitely won't take you down the right path.
Yeah, if someone comes up to you like, "Hey, I'm amazing and I look better than Ricky Martin," that's he's crazy.
That's impossible, I think.
It's impossible.
Yeah,
Unless it was me, and I'm just kidding.
I was about to say that. You beat me to it. And finally, this is one I always love to ask, because I think I always get interesting insights, and I particularly want to hear this from you. Are there people who played a key role in your growth, and how did they influence you?
I think, yeah, for so many people, to be honest, played key roles. I mean, I had a teacher once in IKNS. His name is Hamdan. I don't know where he is right now, but I hope he's doing well and in good health. He was not talking to me, actually. He was talking to my friend. I don't want to name him.
Yeah.
But he knows himself. So the guy was always sleeping in class. So he looks at him and he's like, "Listen, there's a crazy person in every tribe. and for this tribe, you're the crazy one. Right? He was telling him. And what did he mean? He means that, you know, wherever you go in every society, you're going to face the smart person, you're going to face the doctor, you're going to face the crazy person, you're going to face, because, you know, we're not all the same. They're always going to be, you know, in every country, there's going to be a jail, and there's going to be a mall and a cinema, and there's going to be a beach, and there's going to be, so, you know, it's a, like, we were like in, I don't know how old we were, but pretty young, and just thinking about it so much that in the place of work, you know, it's okay to have employees that you work with that report to you.
Mm-hmm.
That some of them are just different.
Yeah, that's just the nature of life.
But that's the thing that when I became a young officer in the military, I had a very older commander, a superior commander. He was very old, and I was like so active and doing a lot of mistakes, but he was always telling me, "Don't worry, it's okay." I was like, "Why is he so cool,
calm and collected,
and you know?" And then I realized is that you're different as you grow, and the most important thing is those people that influence us at a young age are the ones who are older and wiser, and they're the ones who you can see that they're telling you, "Don't act, sit on it, 2-3 days a week, and then act," because then when you sit on it, you're going to be acting differently.
Yep.
Your choices are going to be completely different, right? And once, like, even getting mad, like there's this wise 80-year-old guy who was once asked about being mad, and he said, there are two reasons why a person should be mad, and you have to always focus on those two reasons. And people are like, "Well, what are those two reasons?" He said, the first, only get mad on a very big issue.
Okay.
Like, don't get mad on small issues. If you want to get mad on big issues only.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, "Okay, so what's the second rule?" It's like, the second rule is nothing in life is big issue.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nothing. Everything in life is a small issue. So nothing in life deserves you being mad.
Right.
Unless, so that's why you have to. So those people that influence me are the older ones. I always loved to listen to them. And I think my advice to everyone younger is to, you know, be as respectful as you can to the older, wiser people. Listen to them. Don't act quick. Don't be mad. Relax, because your career is going to be much better. Yeah. Your work is going to be much. You're going to be a better driver. You know, you're going to be a better leader. You know, you're going to get promoted. You're going to get rich. Everything, single thing is going to happen to your benefit if you're wise enough to put your emotions aside. Yeah. Right? Because, you know, it's. I mean, use emotions. That's not a problem
if you harness it in the right way.
But in the right way, right? Through love, through doing things better, loving people, but not through destruction, and definitely not that. And these, I have so many of them that influenced my life a lot. My life was definitely turned around. The wisdom and leadership of His Majesty King Hamad definitely is something that I read a lot about, and I listen to a lot about, and he bestows it on His Highness Sheikh Nasser, that I listen to him, and when His Highness speaks, I'm totally quiet, not just because of respect, but because I want to learn what he says, and I want to learn what His Majesty says. These are the wise people in our society. There are a lot who are try to, you know, in every society around the world, who try to create cracks in our unity, and those are the people that we shouldn't listen to. It's because unity, however it looks like, this is where success is. This is where prosperity is.
100%.
You know, my personal, like, if I want to be successful, I need to care about your success because it does come back to me, right? So imagine if you have a small grocery store, right? Just imagine. Where do you want to open it? In a good neighborhood or in a bad neighborhood?
In a good neighborhood.
In a good neighborhood, because you want, and in a rich neighborhood, right? So if the neighborhood benefits, then they can buy from you and you'll benefit. So locating ourselves within that community is something that I've been lucky enough to learn at a very young age. And it doesn't mean I didn't get mad. I get mad a lot, but I wish that I've applied what those wise people have told me much earlier. And this is what my message is right now today that I try to do to the younger ones, kids and more.
Yeah, I really appreciate your insights. And I think even on a personal level, just sitting down with you now, I feel like I've learned a lot.
Well,
and even when you're talking about the component of, let's say, getting mad at something, I found myself in the trap almost of reacting quickly in the past. But now that you're talking about it, I always say, well, you know, if I took a step back and I decided to calm down a little bit more, be a bit more collected, my output will actually be more streamlined and better. And
Rasul salam, he said, you know, if you're mad when you're standing up, sit down.
Right.
And if you're sat down and you're mad, then lay down. Right. And that's the thing that we have to do. And you know, even when you speak to people, they know that if you're lecturing or you're caring.
Yeah, there's a difference.
They feel that. Like if I talk to my students at the university, they, you know, even if I give them a bad grade, which they earn, right? Even if I do that, they'd still come back, not because of the grade, but because they know that I care.
Right.
And I do from, you know, and we do have a good relationship, whether they're the D students or an A students. But my care to them is because it's not for them only, but it's for everyone else. And I always tell them, like, listen, you're going to graduate, and there's so many bad people around this world. We need to beat them. We need to, you know, we need to have more good people.
Right.
That's how we make the world better.
Yeah.
And if you just, you know, I know I'm talking so much philosophical with all these things, but you know, if I listen to myself, I know I'm gonna laugh at it. But the thing is, if all those things are not, you're not thinking about them every single day, you're gonna be lost in your day. You won't know why we're doing this. Why am I doing? Am I doing this just because they told me to do that, and I'm just waiting, you know, when the clock ticks so that I can just go and play paddle? I don't know what.
Yeah.
Right? No, you do.
There's a deeper purpose behind everything.
You have to believe that every single person, every single thing you do is the most important thing, because we all play a role.
That's amazing.
Right? And we're sending a message. We're engaging. We're thinking.
We're teaching people.
We're teaching. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. I think that was very insightful. And again, I'm going to reiterate it because I have to reemphasize, I learned a lot, and I'm sure a lot of people will learn a lot from this, and it will help shape their lives in some capacity.
Thank you
so much, Dr. Sheikh.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it, and there are a lot of things that I actually am learning as I'm talking as well.
Right.
So I appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone who is working in this program, who contacted me, who allowed me to come here.
It's an honor. It's an honor.
The honor is mine. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And that's all we have for today's episode of Who You Are. I was honored to have a meeting and interview Dr. Sheikh Saqer AlKhalifa. I learned a whole lot. I'm sure that you are going to learn much more. Let's stay tuned for the next episode. I'm your host, Abdurrahman Sahaf.